Hey, this is Rudy Mendez, aka Live Bandit, formerly known as Big Daddy. Today I want to talk about Say It Sunday. When I was knee deep in my addiction and battling my alcoholism, I started to really drown out all my feelings and all of my demons with bottles. I mean, sometimes at first it took, a 6-pack here and there, 12-pack here and there, and then all of a sudden at the end, it was 3 or 4 bottles of vodka a day. And the crazy part is I thought that I was alone. I thought that I had to deal with all this stuff by myself because nobody else understood what I was going through, because nobody else was going through it. Nobody else was dealing with the physical abuse from childhood, sexual abuse from childhood, mental abuse from childhood, mental abuse from adulthood, and physical abuse from adulthood. I mean, nobody else was dealing with that. And so why would I even talk to anybody? Because they wouldn't understand. Well, when I finally started to talk to my therapist, and then when I went to rehab and I talked to my counselor there, and I let go and I said what was bothering me, and I said what really, really was weighing on my shoulders with that big old heavy boulder, man, that was freedom. I was able to free myself from those chains of crap that I just hid for years and years and years with the bottle. And, at first it was just a few. At the end, it took a hell of a lot of booze to just cover up that stuff. I had to really drown myself in liquor so that I didn't feel those feelings, because if I couldn't talk about it, why should I even feel it? And so that's when I started to realize that, there's a shitty committee going on up here, and it's just playing those movie reels of crap, of all the stuff that I'd gone through, all the stuff that had been done to me, whether it was in my head or actual events that happened to me. And that shitty committee was telling me, drink the booze, don't say anything. Why even feel this? There's no point in feeling, so hell, you might even just take your life. And that shitty committee started to quiet down when I started talking, when I started saying what happened, when I started saying how I feel, when I started telling people that I'm screwed up. I almost said a bad word. That I'm screwed up. And the crazy part is we can do this because we can beat this, because we're not alone. There's a lot of us, there's a lot of us that are going through the same pain, through the same problems. All you got to do is just talk and realize that, hey, there's other people that have been there, done that, passed through it, okay, and are on their way to recovery. They're on their way to getting better. And, when you realize that your rock bottom is your rock bottom, but a lot of people have hit the same rocks going down, that's when you realize that life can actually be easier. Life is never easy, but easier. And life can just happen on life's terms. And you can deal with all the crap out there without having to pick up a bottle, okay? And the way that I did it was by talking, and just talking even some more. At first, when I got sober, January 7th of 2017, I was still holed up. I didn't know who to talk to. I didn't know how to talk. I didn't know how to say my feelings. Finally, once I started to go to AA, and once I started to hit other meetings, and I started to talk to my counselor a little bit more, and I felt comfortable with saying all the crap, it became easier. And when I was able to do that, life got a little bit easier, but it still wasn't easy. And so when I continued to talk it out, and when I continued to say what was on my mind and all the crap that I dealt with, there was a sense of selfishness that I had, because I know that I needed to say this stuff in order to keep myself sober. But then when I was talking to my counselor at one point, and I said, I'm going to be selfish in my sobriety. He said, that's perfect. Be selfish in your sobriety. Don't let anybody else screw it up for you, because we as alcoholics blame everybody else, okay? So don't let anybody else screw it up for you. That's what he told me. When I kept on being selfish and I kept on saying what happened to me as a kid and what happened to me as an adult, people would come up to me afterwards and say, how can you say that? How can you say this? How can you talk about being sexually abused as a kid? You know, and that's the crazy part, is there's, again, people out there that are going through the same crap. They're hiding that same crap that I hid. And once I realized that when I'm being selfish in my sobriety by talking about my demons, but I'm helping other people with their demons and being able to speak and say out loud what their demons and what their crap that they went through, that's when I became selfless. So my sobriety turned from being selfish to selfless, because I'm able to talk. And again, it's Say It Sunday. So all you got to do is just say out loud your demons, your crap. Tell that shitty committee up here to stop, because all that is just an internal voice, or voices saying, hold it up, be quiet, don't talk, go grab that other bottle over there so that you can drown out that junk that you've been dealing with. When you can just start to quiet them down and you can say what's going on or what happened, that is when you will have true freedom. That's when I had true freedom. And the cool thing is now I have feelings. They hurt. They hurt a lot. And they feel good sometimes too. Okay? But I talk my feelings through most of the time. My wife kind of begs to differ, because sometimes when we start talking, we start arguing, I tend to hold up, and I ball up and I shut down and I stop talking. And that's when that shitty committee starts back up again, and I've got to talk myself through in my head to talk my feelings out. When I can talk my feelings out, things actually go good. And it's crazy, because for a long time, nothing was good. Nothing was good, because everything I was saying was bull, you know? And now I say the truth. I say what's going on in my head. I say how I feel. And those chains have been cut. Okay? That's what today is. Say It Sunday. So just verbalize the crap that's going on in your head. Verbalize what happened to you. Hit a meeting, hit a group, talk to another alcoholic, talk to another addict. Hell, talk to your priest, talk to your counselor. If you have a best friend, go talk to them. Go find a stranger on the street and shoot the bull with them and just let it all out. So, Say It Sunday. We just rode our tandem trike. I cannot flip this around, but that is a tandem trike right there. It's a 110 pound, there's a tandem trike. It's a 110 pound bike. We are training for the Valero MS 150 bike MS. It goes from San Antonio up to New Braunfels. Last year, me and Marissa did the tandem trike. It was our second bike MS on the tandem trike. Our first one we did 100 miles on day one and like 20 miles day two. This past year we did 70 miles. We were shooting for the 100, but there's a lot more hills. But we did 70 miles, didn't make the cutoff, and then like 30 miles the next day. This year our goal is to do 100 miles day one and then the 35 day two. So that's the plan, that's the goal. We're training for it. So Marissa, why do you ride?
I ride because I can, but I also ride for those who can't. So this is my third year riding with Team Wingman, Bike MS, and new goals, new memories, new accomplishments every time. So I ride because I can, most of all, and I'm very, very grateful for that. And getting more people out there, promoting the trikes, because they are easier on a body with MS, and giving people an option to get out there and keep moving.
Cool. And I want to say...
You're blurry.
It's blurry.
Not blurry.
Okay. And I do want to say thank you to Marissa for helping keep me sober during my early times, because that ride from Houston to Austin, I was like 6 months, 8 months sober.
That's right.
No, I was only 4 months sober. And I'd never biked without beer. And so I just wanted to give a shout out to Marissa, because during that time she helped keep me sober, and she helped keep my mind off of stopping at the gas stations to get beer like I used to. It was really tough, but with the encouragement of friends and family, you know, a lot of things are possible. There's a reason why our team name is Team Wingman, because everybody needs a wingman in life. And one thing that I did on the ride when I started having those feelings of drinking and you know, end up relapsing, I would talk about it. I let her know I want a drink, I want a beer, I feel like stopping, and just saying it, making it known to someone else really helped me out, and it really just made that feeling disappear, that thought disappear. And then when it started getting a little rougher and tougher, I would tell myself, you know what, I'm going to stop at the next one. I'll stop, and then I get there and I'd either forget about it, or it's like, you know what, I can go one more, let me stop at the next one. And I would do that until that thought just disappeared, and I didn't want to drink anymore. I wasn't thinking about the drink anymore. So talking about it, talking about wanting that drink, talking about, you know, and then setting a time limit on when you're going to have that drink, or revisit the thought, I should say. It really helped me out. So try that if you're in the need, or if you're having a rough time. But we're gonna get back on the bike. We got about another 7 miles to go before we go get brunch. All right, this is Live Bandit, and I'm out.